Hi, Jeremy. How are you today?
Good, fantastic.
Thank you so
It's great to be here.
much for joining me. Now, Jeremy, you're from the South Australian Produce Market. You've worked there for a couple of years.
Yeah, well, 17 years in total, so it's been a while.
So you've seen a few seasons come and go of
Absolutely.
fresh produce through the South Australian Produce Market, and it's probably your dinner time now. You've probably been up since quite early this morning as well.
Yeah, no, it's getting on. I'll be going for a nap soon after this. So.
Well, that's good. So every time we come on, we always have a product of the week, and at the moment there are so many kiwi fruit around. So pick a local, pick a say. We love to support South Australian grown and what's in season. We don't grow kiwis in South Australia.
Not at this stage.
Which is why it allows us to talk about the NutriKiwi brand and the kiwis that come from.
So NutriKiwi comes from New Zealand.
Yes.
So their season typically runs between April and December. And yeah, they're in full swing. Plenty of stock around. Fruit's in fantastic nick. So yeah.
And so these ones that we've got here today, they're a green kiwi, aren't they?
That's correct.
So the NutriKiwi brand is a green. So how do you pick a good kiwi? Is there a tip to doing that?
Oh, look, I think it's really about touch. The fruit's got to have just enough give that you know, typically what you can find is the fruit's quite hard.
Yeah.
You've really got to feel the fruit. If it gives, that's a good sign. And
so are kiwi fruit kind of like bananas or apples or whatever? If you leave them out in the fruit bowl, they'll get a bit softer. Do you buy them firm and then they'll soften up, or if you buy them firm, are they going to stay firm? What are some kind of tips around that?
Yeah, so if you do find that your kiwi fruit is firm when you're at your local retailer or at the retailer of your choice, and it's firm, take it home, put it in your fruit bowl, keep it at room temp, and it will ripen. Especially if it's around bananas or apples, things that typically ripen produce quite well. And yeah, so they won't stay firm. They're not. Don't worry about that.
Unless you like them firm, because some people might like to eat them firm.
That's right. And when they're quite firm, they're quite tart. Some people enjoy that.
Yeah. Actually, I saw a really good recipe for an avocado and kiwi salsa. So you would probably want quite a firm kiwi to go into a salsa if you're doing like a savoury dish. So it's good to know that you can actually buy them when they're still firm.
Absolutely.
But if you prefer to eat them when they soften up, then you can, just leave them in the fruit bowl, leave them out or whatever. Do you leave them in the fridge or in the fruit bowl?
Look, for me, I put them, because I like my kiwi fruit with a decent amount of sugar in them, I put them in the fridge because it's typically, they're reasonably soft. So I put them in a smoothie. For me, the sugar content's important.
Yeah.
It still has that slight tart flavour to it, but that's how I do it.
Yeah, so smoothies are another great way, especially in winter. So I guess during winter it's quite hard to consume your fruit. It's not like you sit down with a bowl of fruit salad during the middle of winter, really. But if you're chucking it in your smoothie, great to add into green smoothies.
Great way to start your day.
With a bit of avocado, bit of spinach, and get it going. Yeah. But then I have also seen cheeky recipes of like dipping them in chocolate. So I was like, that's pretty good too.
Oh, it's fantastic. And one thing to remember about kiwi fruit, or green kiwi fruit, or kiwi fruit, is that it's 100%, so one serving, one piece of fruit is 100% of your daily intake of vitamin C.
Yeah.
So that's something to remember, something that's important for the winter months when it's cool.
Yeah.
And everyone's trying to stay healthy and keep those colds away. So that's...
Because we have spoken a lot on this show about in-season citrus and how great it is to have citrus in those winter months to get your vitamin C. But yeah, NutriKiwi claim 2 times more vitamin C than an orange. Not that we don't want people to eat oranges because we love our South Australian grown citrus. But, packed full of vitamin C just from one piece of fruit.
Absolutely. It's great. You just pick it up and you've got it right there.
Yeah. So as always, we've got a giveaway today. We never come in empty-handed into the Radio Italiana studio. So today, Manna Premier Group have given us this box of NutriKiwi. So we have a whole box of kiwis. So there's a whole lot of salsa and chocolate dipped and smoothies and all sorts going on there.
Amazing.
You probably want to share them with your family and friends. But they taste tastes really good. So if you haven't tasted any kiwis this season, we've also got lots of in-store sampling going on at the moment in your Pick a Local, Pick SA stores. Even this weekend, we've got demonstrations happening at Harndorf, Adams Apples, West Lakes, and Fruitabella Ingle Farm. So check the Pick a Local, Pick SA Facebook page on the events page, and you'll see all of those demos that are happening in store. Great way to kind of get in and give it a bit of a try.
Absolutely.
Before you buy it, but chuck some in your shopping trolley as well. So our listener question today is, where are NutriKiwi kiwi fruits grown? We've said that they're not grown in South Australia, but we have said where they are. So the first person to call in on 8340 7700 when we go to this song is going to take home this box of NutriKiwi. So it's great to come in and share with your listeners what we're seeing on the market floor, what new products are in, what's in season. It's really important to eat in season. It means you're getting produce that's grown locally and much quicker from the paddock to the plate. So Jeremy, you've been around the markets for a few years, we've discovered. So winter is not traditionally a great fruit season, but what sort of things are we seeing in line at the moment in winter fruits that people can be buying and that are in season on the floor?
Yeah, look, there's plenty of stuff, really. There's obviously citrus, that's going gangbusters at the moment. Plenty of great mandarins. Tangelos have just started.
Yes, I saw that.
Awesome.
Now I didn't really know what tangelos were, and I saw the box that said tangelos have started. But they're a bit of a different fruit, and I've seen some people kind of get mistaken that they think they're just an ugly looking orange. But what's a tangelo?
Well, look, it's a hybrid. It's a tangerine and a grapefruit. Basically, they've brought those together to make the tangelo, and it's got an interesting flavour. It definitely for me it comes off as a nice sweet start and it tapers off with a tart aftertaste.
Yeah.
So I think it's great.
Yeah,
I
something
really
different. If you've never tried a tangelo, have a look at them. It looks like an ugly orange. They're quite easy to peel when they're seedless, so something that you could add to your basket. What else have we got that's good for winter fruits?
Pineapples. Pineapples are in, so your gold pine, the topless pines, there's plenty around during winter time, and they taste fantastic.
Yeah.
They are typically a winter pine, and the sugar content is just fantastic. They pick them to eat.
Yeah.
So the growers, they bricks test them, so they test the sugar, and they pick them to eat. So whenever you see a pineapple in store that looks a bit green, it's okay. They're ready to go. So don't ever be turned away by the
And the
colour
tip
of
that
shell.
I've had for when you're eating pineapple is if you really like the sweetness of the pineapple, you want to eat the bottom of it. So if you're cutting it up and sharing it out, cut it up and keep the bottom bit for yourself, because that's what tastes the sweetest. And we also have plenty of watermelons as well, and bananas are back in good supply at the moment as well. So there's plenty of fruit around, right?
There is plenty. Bananas, in terms of supply, have been a little bit up and down this year, and that was because of some woolly weather or wild weather, that they had earlier in the year, and so we've seen some prices that we typically may not see at this time of year.
Yeah.
So it's great to see that there's still plenty of support around the category, but prices have eased. It's great to see people still buying and see demand increase because of that. So there's plenty around, and they always taste great.
There was actually an article published on the top 20 produce consumed by Australian households a few weeks ago. It was a Nielsen report, and bananas got toppled off of number one by tomatoes this year. It's between tomatoes and bananas are something like 94% of Australians buy bananas.
Absolutely,
and it's just
it's
a
held
staple.
that number one ranking for as long as I can remember.
Yes, so the tomatoes have just toppled it off. So there must be lots more Italians cooking and making tomato dishes.
That's right, a lot more sauce happening.
A lot more sauce. And so what's happening in vegetable lines at the moment? What are we seeing? What are good for our winter vegetable roasts and cooking for winter veg?
For us, obviously, the Manna Premier Group handle both, a lot of soft veg. So, your tomatoes, capsicums, eggplants, that sort of stuff. But pumpkin's a big one. Your butternut and your Jap or Kent in great supply.
Oh, that's good. I
It's
love a
fantastic.
good roast pumpkin. Like just cut it in half, chuck your butternut in the oven, and away you go. So, and you know, lots of people are doing roast. It has been very cold recently.
Yeah,
so
I had roast on the weekend. Bit of olive
Yeah.
oil, bit of salt,
Oh, Sunday
garlic,
roast,
beautiful.
they're the best.
Absolutely, absolutely. So there's plenty of them. There's lots of broccoli and cauliflower at the moment, and cauliflower is becoming really popular for particularly like more people on plant-based diets. There's lots of different things that you can do with cauliflower. I've seen some great recipes for that. Just roasting it whole,
That's right.
cutting it into steaks. I had someone tell me the other day they had mashed cauliflower,
Cauliflower rice.
cauliflower rice. Yeah, very, very versatile. And I guess broccoli, you couldn't quite do all of those things with them. I don't think you do a broccoli steak like you do a cauliflower, but still plenty you can do. You can do broccoli rice as well and replace
Yep,
our traditional
absolutely.
pastas. Our Italian listeners probably don't want to replace their
And
pasta with
No.
Who doesn't like pasta broccoli? Really?
Oh, that's
Yes,
yes, we love that.
Yeah, broccoli is great in your pasta. You don't have to replace it, but in there as well. Also, we're seeing on the floor like plenty of white zucchinis. They'll be coming from out of Virginia. That's a great growing area out there. Flat continental beans and celeriac as well, which comes into season. We're seeing on the floor as well. So plenty of variety still out. Good supplies, South Australian grown. So it's good to see plenty of supply happening out there. So you've worked at the markets for a long time. Did many different varieties come through? Have you seen anything new this season, or is it we just love our staple South Australian grown vegetables?
Oh, look, I think it's in terms of new product. Really, there's been just pretty much your staples. I think there's plenty of varieties of tomatoes. I think and that's why we've seen tomatoes lift up in the rankings in terms of what people are purchasing. There's a lot around. There's plenty of varieties. There's basically a tomato to sort of meet everyone's flavour profiles, I guess. So that's great. But yeah, look, there's nothing sort of that I can think of off the top of my head that's...
But we are definitely cooking more, and I think we're a lot more conscious of where our produce is coming from. People are more conscious of their health in COVID times, of keeping healthy and cooking and stuff like that. So it's not surprising that tomatoes are at the top, particularly with the vibrant Italian community we have that love putting it on everything. So it's good to hear that there's plenty of that supply around as well. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having
Bye.
us. See ya. Bye.